Hey there, it's Carly Burr and welcome back to my channel where I encourage you to spend more time offline so you can experience more joy and honestly just live a better life. Today I was thinking about getting uncomfortable. I was thinking about times in my life when I've grown or I've achieved something or I've pushed myself or I've overcome a fear. All these things tend to happen when I'm uncomfortable. As you watch this video, leave a comment letting me know if you're someone who shies away from uncomfortable situations or if you're someone who says, bring it on, bring on the uncomfort, bring on the discomfort, bring on the growth. I have a magnet on my fridge that says your life begins at the end of your comfort zone. So whenever I'm feeling like I don't want to get uncomfortable, I try to remember that magnet. Honestly, who really likes to be uncomfortable? And I'm not just talking about the type of discomfort that comes from waking up at 2 a.m. in the night sweats and you rip off the covers and you're still just super hot and sweaty and uncomfortable, or you put on a pair of pants and you squeeze into them and they're a little bit too tight and you choose to leave the house and then you're regretting that decision ever since and you're miserable the rest of the night, uncomfortable. Although those are feelings I have felt recently in my life of discomfort, I am talking about a different kind of discomfort. I'm talking about the type of discomfort that comes from pushing yourself or getting out there, experiencing, trying to do new things, or testing out different avenues of life type of discomfort. Whether it's starting a job and don't know what the heck you're doing, feeling totally out of place type of uncomfort. And if you've ever started a new job, you know that the first day or 2 days or a couple of weeks are always the hardest. It's always when it's super fresh and super new that you feel the most uncomfortable. And this is proven to be true in many areas of my life when it comes to being uncomfortable, not just starting a new job. A few years ago, I was asked to audition for a commercial for a local business. And when I got asked to do this audition, I was like, audition for a commercial? I've never done something like that before. And it sounds super uncomfortable, so instantly I started to get like jittery thinking about having to audition for a commercial that I have no clue what the heck I'm supposed to be doing. But I decided to take it on anyway. I said, okay, I guess I'll show up for the audition, and that's pretty much it. They didn't give me any information or anything ahead of time. They just said, show up here at this time and we'll see how it goes. So I said, okay. So I show up and there's probably 37 other girls in this room. And girls are coming out of the back and they come out and they're like, oh my gosh, that was so scary. That's the scariest thing I've ever done. So instantly I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, now I'm even more nervous. I feel like I'm gonna pee my pants or I'm gonna throw up or I'm gonna do both at the same time. And so I just start making conversation with the other girls that were waiting for a couple of hours before we get our call back to go do the audition. So it's finally my turn to go back and do my audition, and I go back there, again, having no clue what to expect. I'm feeling very nervous, very uncomfortable, and the room is super dark, and it's kind of it's like a stage setup back there. So there's black curtains everywhere. The only light is coming from like in front of the stage, and then they have a black curtain where there's people, like an audience, sitting on the other side of the curtain. So I can't see them, but they can see me because they have a screen on the other side. And so I'm standing there on the stage and someone comes over and is holding a hat and they're like, okay, draw a paper out of this hat and whatever you draw, you need to act out. And again, I'm like, act out. Like, I'm horrible at charades and I have to act on the spot, but I'm already in this, so here we go. I draw out of the hat to see what my fate is going to decide I have to act out today, and I open it up and it says Beyonce. And I literally wanted to die because I'm a terrible dancer. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a horrible dancer. Like, I just don't know how to move my body very well to dance. So I'm like, okay, how am I gonna do this? I luckily thought of the Single Ladies music video, and there's like a super simple dance move that's pretty well known that Beyonce does, and I did some sort of version of that. I'm sure it looked nothing like what she does, but someone on the other side of the curtain yelled Beyonce, so I got bailed out of that one. But then they come back with the hat again. They're like, okay, draw out another paper to see what you need to act out next. So I draw the paper and it says parallel parking. And I'm like, seriously, parallel parking? How am I supposed to act out parallel parking? Anyway, somehow I BS'd my way through parallel parking. They guessed it, and finally the misery was over. So I walked out of the audition totally laughing at myself for the massive fool that I just made of myself, thinking, well, I guess we'll see what happens. And the next day I actually got an email saying that I got one of the 3 parts that they were casting for this commercial. So I was super shocked, but kind of proud of myself for going into such an uncomfortable situation and like just owning it, just, you know, doing my very best, and it actually ended up paying off. So the reason I share this story is because it was a super uncomfortable situation for me, one of the most uncomfortable situations I can recall that I've ever been in before in my life. But because I went through that audition and I put myself in that place to get uncomfortable, the next time around that I got asked to do something like that, I didn't feel as bad because I had already done it before. So I had that confidence in myself that whatever they throw at me, I'll figure it out and I'll be able to make it out on the other side. Whether the outcome is good or not, I can at least make it through. I wanted to ask you, when is the last time you were uncomfortable? When's the last time you put yourself in a situation to push yourself, to grow, to experience a different outcome that you haven't experienced before, to do something that's kind of scary, that gets you uncomfortable, but that helps you ultimately grow? When is the last time you've been in a situation like that? It's so easy to hide behind screens and just slide through life mundanely, but that is not what we are here to do. We are human beings. We are the most incredible beings on earth. We have unlimited potential. We can literally do anything that we set our minds to because we're human. My challenge to you is to get uncomfortable, to push yourself, to stretch the limits in a healthy way, of course, but to feel and experience the joy that comes from doing so, the satisfaction, the growth that comes from doing things outside of your comfort zone. Don't shy away from a challenge or from an opportunity to grow, and it won't always work out the way that you hope that it did. You won't always get the part or get the promotion or be the very best, and that's a good thing. That is where growth can happen too. Failure teaches us incredible and valuable lessons also that can help us approach the situation a little bit differently next time. Go back to the drawing board, ask for feedback and what you can do to improve. Become resilient and get back up and try again. Sitting behind a screen is comfortable. We can post up pictures to portray our lives to be a certain way. We can hide behind filters and anonymous names. I challenge you to put the screen away and to do something bold offline. Get a bit uncomfortable and let me know how it goes for you. It might go really well and it might be a total crapshoot, but both are a win because you got out there and you did something, you tried something new, you pushed yourself, and you probably will grow from the experience. In closing, I wanted to share a quote from Jason Reynolds. He says, "Be not afraid of discomfort. If you can't put yourself in a situation where you are uncomfortable, then you will never grow. You will never change. You'll never learn." And if that's true, what are we waiting for? And what are we so afraid of? The point in sharing this is that it's going to be uncomfortable spending more time offline because that's just not what we do in our society. We are online on our devices more than ever in history before. So it's abnormal. It's not the normal thing that people do. So yeah, naturally it might feel a little bit uncomfortable, but will it be worth it to spend the time offline? Yes. 100,000% it is worth it. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to click the link in the description below to sign up for my bi-weekly letter called the Offline Diaries. 2 Thursdays a month I'll be in your inbox motivating you to make positive change in your life, helping you feel nostalgia towards life before social media, and most importantly, inspire you to get offline. Sending you all my love and encouragement to spend more time offline, and I will catch you next time.